Have you ever been made to feel small, just because of where you come from, or the color of your skin? What if someone told you you were nothing, only for them to find out they were wrong in the most public and unforgettable way? That's exactly what happened to a young man who walked into a high-tech warehouse with calloused hands, a quiet smile, and a plan that would change everything. What happened next will blow your mind. Are you ready? Then let's go. It was a cold morning at Greenwave Industries, a sleek tech company in the middle of a booming city. Inside the warehouse, workers gathered around a massive machine that had stopped working weeks ago. It wasn't just any machine. It cost millions to build, and now it was silent, like a beast defeated by time. The CEO, James Holloway, stood in front of the group, holding a glass of expensive whiskey. His eyes glinted with something sharp, something cruel. "Hey, farm boy," he said, his voice echoing through the room. "How about you try fixing our $15 million machine? Maybe beginner's luck will work." Everyone laughed. Not just a few people, 50 employees, cameras in hand, recording every second. A young black man named Elijah Carter looked up from his phone, his fingers still typing a message. He didn't seem nervous, just calm. His hands were rough, used to hard work on his family's land. He sent the message, "Dad, it's time. You can start." James Holloway leaned closer, smirking. "You must have never seen a machine that wasn't powered by horses, have you?" Elijah didn't answer. He just looked around. Some people laughed louder, others shifted uncomfortably, but no one spoke up. Inside, Elijah was burning. He remembered this kind of arrogance before. Years ago, when his father had been publicly humiliated by Holloway during a town meeting. That day, Elijah had promised himself something. One day, the Carter family would get their revenge. And unlike most people, the Carters had the means to make that promise real. Holloway hit the side of the machine like it was an old door. "Will you accept our scientific challenge, or would you rather go back to planting your sweet potatoes?" Silence followed. Heavy, thick silence. Everyone waited for the moment when the young black man would look down, embarrassed, and walk away. But Elijah smiled, not nervously, not fake. A cold, knowing smile. "I'd be honored to help," he said, his voice polite but firm. Holloway laughed again, louder this time. "Good. Let's see how long it takes you to fail." Elijah stepped forward, as if he owned the place. His fingers ran over the metal surface of the machine, not with hesitation, but with familiarity, like he had done this before. He asked, "Does anyone have a Phillips screwdriver and a flashlight?" Holloway snorted. "Maybe a hammer too, kid. That'll work better than all our German technology." Dr. Emily Lang, one of the engineers, frowned. Something about Elijah's calmness didn't fit the stereotype Holloway was trying to push. She handed him the tools without saying much. As he worked, Elijah muttered under his breath. "Pressure sensor set to European parameters. American voltage causing interference. Classic conversion error." Emily froze. Those details weren't public. Only 4 people knew them. Meanwhile, Elijah's phone buzzed. A message appeared. Coordinates received. Starting Phoenix Protocol. D.C. Holloway, drunk on his own cruelty, kept talking. "Look at this, everyone. Now he's going to try to fix our $15 million machine with a screwdriver? Is anyone recording this? It'll go viral on social media." People laughed again, but some started to feel uneasy. Elijah worked with precision, removing panels, adjusting cables. He pulled out a small device from his pocket. It looked like a simple adapter, but Dr. Lang recognized it instantly. A custom voltage regulator. She whispered, "Where did you get that?" "My father always taught me to be prepared," Elijah replied simply. Then the machine came to life. A soft hum filled the air. Lights blinked. Gears turned. The machine was working again. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Holloway pushed past the workers. "This is impossible! You cheated!" Elijah wiped his hands calmly. "Cheating?" "Mr. Holloway, The problem was a voltage incompatibility between European and American components. Anyone with basic knowledge of industrial electronics would know that. The silence after his words was deafening. Then, footsteps echoed across the concrete floor. Everyone turned. A tall man in his 50s entered the warehouse. He wore a tailored suit, carried a briefcase, and had the quiet confidence of someone who knew exactly what was coming. "Excuse the interruption," he said, voice smooth but firm. "I'm David Carter, and I believe you've been testing my son." The room went dead silent. Elijah looked up, smiling. "Dad," he said simply. David opened his briefcase and pulled out a stack of documents. "I am also the engineer who designed this particular machine for Greenwave Industries under an exclusive confidentiality agreement. An agreement that, according to my records, has been systematically violated." Dr. Lang's eyes widened as she recognized the signature. "You're the DC from the technical specs. I always wondered who the genius behind this design was." Holloway's face turned red. "That's impossible. Our engineers designed this machine in-house." David pulled out a tablet. On the screen was a video from March 14th, 2021. It showed Holloway shaking his hand in his office, discussing the project. "This is the meeting where you secretly hired me to develop this project, ensuring that my name would never appear publicly." Holloway's mouth moved, but no words came out. Elijah stepped forward, showing his phone. "Actually, Mr. Holloway, 50 people just witnessed you racially humiliating me and threatening to fire my mother. All recorded and posted live on the company's social media." The color drained from Holloway's face. "You couldn't have done that." "Oh, but I did," Elijah said. "Thousands of views already. Comments are devastating." David continued. "But the best part is that you just committed breach of contract by publicly exposing my work. We recorded everything. You falsely credited your engineers for my design, violated the confidentiality agreement that required me to remain anonymous." Dr. Lang shook her head in disbelief. "James, you lied to all of us. We took credit for work we didn't do." Elijah added, "You also violated federal civil rights laws by publicly discriminating against me on the basis of my race. We have 50 witnesses and high-definition video evidence." Holloway looked around desperately. No one supported him. Employees whispered. Others typed furiously on their phones. "You don't understand," Holloway tried. "It was a joke, a personality test." "A joke?" David's voice turned icy. "Calling my son a little farmer, suggesting he use corral techniques, threatening his mother's job. Is that a joke to you?" Holloway's phone rang non-stop. The board had seen the video. He answered with trembling hands. "Yes, I can explain. No, it wasn't like that." As Holloway struggled to control the damage, David turned to the stunned audience. "My son fixed this machine in 15 minutes because I taught him every circuit, every component. He knows my work better than anyone here, including the man who stole my credit." 2 days later, James Holloway was cleaning out his desk. The board voted unanimously for his immediate dismissal. The hashtags number racist CEO and number Greenwave boycott trended worldwide, accumulating millions of views. Across town, Elijah received a call that changed his life forever. Linda Park, the new interim CEO of Greenwave, offered him a position as senior engineer with a starting salary of $120,000 per year, plus a full scholarship to complete his studies at Stanford. David, sitting beside his son in the kitchen of their simple home, smiled with pride. "What about the breach of contract and moral damages?" he asked. "We are preparing compensation of $2.5 million for the stolen credits, plus retroactive royalties on all derivative products," Linda replied. "We also want to establish a corporate diversity program in the name of the Carter family, with an annual budget of $500,000. Dr. Lang visited the farm in person, offering a revolutionary proposal. Greenwave wants to create the David Carter Institute for Innovation, offering full scholarships mentoring programs, and internship opportunities to talented young people from rural and underserved communities. Elijah's mother, Clara, finally walked through the company hallways with her head held high, telling her colleagues about her son's achievements and the true genius of her family. Meanwhile, Holloway was discovering firsthand how the corporate world treats those who fall from grace. His former friends avoided him. Consulting jobs vanished. Even basic interviews were denied once employers found his name online. 6 months later, Elijah walked across the Stanford campus as a full scholarship student. His father consulted for 3 of the country's largest technology companies. Each contract was worth more than Holloway had earned in his entire career. The documentary, Racial Humiliation, The Price of Corporate Arrogance, inspired thousands of young Black and Latino students to pursue careers in engineering and tech. The transformation at Greenwave was even more dramatic. The diversity program created by the Carters not only hired 50 new engineers from diverse backgrounds, but also developed 3 revolutionary patents that increased the company's value by 40%. Wall Street officially recognized that the Thompson era had made Greenwave more innovative and profitable than it had ever been under its previous discriminatory management. Holloway, meanwhile, moved to a small town in the countryside. No significant company would hire him. Even basic consulting jobs were denied when employers discovered his identity through a simple Google search. During an interview for the podcast Social Justice in Action, Elijah reflected on the whole experience with the maturity of someone far beyond his years. True revenge is not destroying those who hurt you. It's building something so meaningful and transformative that it renders their limited opinion of you completely irrelevant. David added, "Genuine talent has no color, social class, or geographic origin. Sometimes the world needs to see that truth in a very clear, public, and impossible-to-ignore way." The Carter family story proved definitively that underestimating people based on superficial appearances or archaic prejudices can be the most costly and permanent mistake anyone makes in life. Elijah didn't just fix a broken machine. He fixed an entire system of prejudice and limitations that wasted extraordinary potential on a daily basis. The best revenge has never been the petty destruction of one's enemy, but the flawless construction of a legacy that he could never have imagined or achieved. Elijah turned a brutal moment of racial humiliation into the catalyst for a silent revolution that opened golden doors for thousands of young people who, like him, had hidden talents waiting for the right opportunity to shine and transform the world. So, what about you? Have you ever been underestimated because of your appearance, background, or social status? How did you react when someone tried to diminish your potential? Leave your story of overcoming adversity in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more stories that prove that true excellence always finds its way, regardless of the cruel obstacles imposed by prejudice and human ignorance.